Top U.S. general meets Taliban negotiators. Mark Milley, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, met negotiators in Doha, Qatar, before flying to Kabul to meet Afghan President Ashraf Ghani. The Taliban and the Afghan government are holding peace talks in Doha. Senior U.S. officials have warned publicly that an increase in Taliban violence is endangering the talks. A spokesperson for the military said Gen Milley had discussed the need for an immediate reduction of violence and accelerate progress towards a negotiated political solution which contributes to regional stability and safeguards U.S. national interests. According to the Associated Press, Gen Milley told a select group of reporters on the trip, "The most important part of the discussions that I had with both the Taliban and the government of Afghanistan was the need for an immediate reduction in violence." It was Gen Milley's second unannounced meeting with the Taliban's negotiating team, AP said, following a first meeting in June, also in Doha. U.S. officials have accused the Taliban of stepping up attacks on Afghan security forces, as well as other civilian targets, even as the group's negotiators meet government officials in Doha. Army General Scott Miller, the most senior commander of U.S. and coalition forces in Afghanistan, told AP the attacks were jeopardizing the peace process. "The higher the violence, the higher the risk," he said. As well as attacking security forces, the Taliban has been accused of assassinating human rights advocates, journalists, and other civilians. Among them was Afghan radio journalist Ali Yazdei, who was killed last month, also by a sticky bomb. The talks taking place in Doha are the first direct peace talks between the Afghan government and the Taliban, after decades of violent conflict. They follow a deal between the U.S. and the Taliban in February in which the U.S. pledged to withdraw all its troops from Afghanistan by next summer if the Taliban-insured groups including al-Qaeda were not able to use Afghan territory to plot international attacks. But Edmund Fitton Brown, coordinator of the United Nations Islamic State, al-Qaeda and Taliban monitoring team, told the BBC in October that the Taliban had promised al-Qaeda in the run-up to the U.S. agreement that the two groups would remain allies. The Taliban were talking regularly and at a high level with al-Qaeda and reassuring them that they would honor their historic ties, Mr. Fitton Brown said. U.S.-led troops have been present in Afghanistan for nearly 2 decades, since launching airstrikes to oust the Taliban in 2001 in the aftermath of the 9/11 al-Qaeda attacks in New York. EU leaders isolate after Macron tests positive. French President Emmanuel Macron tests positive for COVID-19 after meeting other leaders recently. BBC Culture, inside the homes of legendary artists. Love Jihad, what a reported miscarriage says about India's anti-conversion law. 9. The BBC is not responsible for the content of external sites.